Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Snow White's box office prospects. It looks like Snow White is a box office poison apple. Everybody's probably already made that joke.
Yeah, I think I made it the other day too, yes.
Yeah, we're going to make it again because apparently that's all people want to watch now are Snow White videos. And then when it's over, like everybody will be like, oh, let's go back to the real world. So let's talk about Snow White this weekend. It's not looking good, guys. 45 million on par with Dumbo.
Which is what we talked about yesterday. And it's not just that, like Disney is like really, really ramping up the advertising. Like they're trying so hard to promote this thing. It is insane. They're just like, every time you try to scroll through social media, it's like ad after ad after ad for Snow White. Like I already saw the damn movie. Stop trying to advertise to me. But yeah, I told you yesterday about the article or the ad they had where they said it was the most talked about movie of the year. Now, Snow White, CY critics, it's one person, are calling Snow White Disney's best live action remake. And we're going to look at that because there's a little more to it than that.
So, before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, let's, do you want to talk about this first, the damage control, or you want to talk about the box office?
Let's start with the box office, then we can get into the damage control.
All right, so ho hum, according to Deadline, Snow White is opening to 45 million. That's on par with Dumbo. Originally, it was supposed to be 65 to 70 million, and then it went down to like 55 to 60 million, and then went down to
like 45 to 55 million.
Yeah, now we're talking 45.
They said it might see 48. They're not sure.
Depends, but that's not great. And we're going to talk about that because they even bring up in the Deadline article, given how much this movie cost, they spent as much on this thing as they did on a Marvel movie, and it's not going to make the money.
No, and then they're also mentioning too, and I don't know if they're going to, I think they mentioned it in this one, but I know they mentioned other articles. It has a B+ cinema score, which some places are like, oh, that's amazing. But a lot of places are pointing out, well, similar movies to it, like their other live actions had A's.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened with Captain America 4 too. It had like a B- cinema score.
This isn't good. This is not the win.
No, this is not good. There's no way to put a positive spin on this because it's going to drop off in week 2. It's going to drop off.
Disney's trying.
Then once Minecraft comes out, that's it. It's over. It's done.
They might get one more week and then that's going to hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So third update, Saturday AM. Here's the good news when it comes to Snow White at 45 million. It's opening higher than other movies, including Catwoman, Joker 2, and another version of Snow White was called Mirror, Mirror, and nobody
in 2012.
In 2012. So there's that. However, at that level, as we told you yesterday, it's right on par with Dumbo's lackluster start at 46 million and far behind other Disney movies, other remakes, including The Little Mermaid, Maleficent, and Cinderella.
It's not doing great. And then, here they talk about it. It got a B+ cinema score. It's a low grade for this type of Disney movie. Even Dumbo got an A-. Mufasa A-, Pete's Dragon an A. Maleficent both got A's. You know, and this is getting a B+.
The first Maleficent was okay. I think I watched part of the second one. Pete's Dragon I watched, and it sucks because Pete's Dragon is one of my favorite Disney movies. So I understand what they're doing. They're trying to make it more realistic, but it was really depressing.
It was very sad. So yeah, it's not a win. Some places are like, oh, B+, that's so great. And it's like, no, not when you compare apples to apples. It's really, really not.
Yeah. I said, wait, Ferris Gray resides in Rotten Tomatoes score 71% for Snow White. When the hell did that happen? It was 49% the other day.
Are they talking about the audience score?
Oh, audience score, yeah. I was like, wait. There's no way.
That has to be audience score. I haven't checked the audience score today, but I'm guessing because it was like 45% critical. I don't think it jumped to 71.
Yeah, it said audience. Okay. Dumbo is 47. I haven't seen Dumbo. Tim Burton said he regrets making that movie.
I don't want to watch it. I'm not gonna.
Amid star Rachel Zegler's candid comments during production of Snow White and the whole dwarf debacle, was there any way Disney could have curtailed all the bad press on the $270 million production?
No.
Yeah, 44% rotten.
Even people who I know that are like really, really love everything, and they're like, yeah, I can't wait. They're like, even if they didn't mind Zegler, they're the dwarves. They couldn't get past the dwarves. It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, there are some people that are like, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever, but a lot of people are just like, yeah,
They
no.
they bring up the Greatest Showman songwriters, which you're like, oh yeah, it sounded like
yes.
it.
I was like, okay, if you watch my review, I didn't even really pay attention. That's how much I paid attention to this stupid movie. If you watch my review, I said it's so weird. It's like almost like Greatest Showman, and the way the songs were, and the way that they were kind of marching towards the gates and all that. It's because it was the Greatest Showman, people. I was right. That's why it sounded like it and reminded me of it, because it's the exact same people who wrote the songs for that one wrote not all the songs, but like the big songs for this one.
Well, at least it wasn't Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he's writing everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. But these two
like,
wrote this. These other two wrote this one, and I'm like, well, that explains it. Because all I kept thinking was, this feels like Greatest Showman. Even the way some of the stuff was sung, it reminds you of the songs from that movie. And I was just like,
yeah,
Good Things Grow is definitely reminiscent of it.
the ending musical number was very, very reminiscent of Greatest Showman.
It was, and they're letting it was the big musical number, Greatest Showman, with the ending one, and I was like, this sounds like it. But then, like I said, I come from a musical background, so I kind of noticed the similarities. But
I mean, it's not like they
anyway.
call up the Sherman Brothers, right? I mean,
No,
that'd be awesome if they could. But it's like, so Disney could rally the support of millennials and Gen Z social media influencers, screened the movie to them early on, and blasted the loudspeakers instead of enduring a barrage of tabloid pieces. They let the bad word of mouth get into the ether. I have to wonder, are there people at the Disney company that let this happen? They're like, you know what? It's the ghost of Walt.
I don't know, but this is ridiculous. This is a way to blame, to basically try to blame, oh, it's the haters. No, this movie is not that great. I mean, I said, like, it's a 5.5, it's 5.5, and that's a solid, fair 5.5 out of 10 at the most. And a lot of people are saying this. Critics don't like it, so I guess they're the tabloids. The audiences aren't liking it that much. I guess they're the tabloids. Or maybe it's because your lead actress wouldn't shut her damn mouth.
That is a big part of it.
So
Yeah.
like tabloids, she's the reason. And
So
your
this
CGI dwarves are terrible.
Well, they said, and we brought this up too. We said basically Snow White is so old. I mean, it's hugely important to the Walt Disney Company. And it's hugely important to previous generations of Disney fans. But I don't know if Snow White and Seven Dwarfs resonates with kids today like it did previous generations, because it is so old. I mean, it's an old movie. It's almost 90 years old.
But did you read the rest of this?
I did.
Little Mermaid, which also entered a ton of male online vitriol. Bullshit. Who wrote this crap? Was it a dude or a woman?
A dude.
I'm like, Anthony, it's always an Anthony. Anthony, you know what? Sit and spin. I think I've called your ass out before. You quit blaming men. It's always men. A lot of women didn't go see it either. And I went and saw it, and it was okay. It was better than Snow White, but it wasn't like the glorious epic win you claim it was either. And there was no reason, again, to make a live action Little Mermaid and then to race swap her. They only race swapped her, for agenda. And we all know it.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the difference was, at least Halle Bailey was more gracious, and at least she tried to be Little Mermaid-esque, and even her voice kind of sounded like the Little Mermaid, so she actually fit better than Rachel Zegler.
Yeah. As we pointed out with Dumbo, these live action takes of older vintage Disney musicals and animated movies, Maleficent, Cinderella, 101 Dalmatians, open lower. They have
Not this low.
Not this low. They have darker, colder, classical themes which don't play to today's massive female audience. What?
Wait. Are you allowed to say that, Anthony?
You're blaming women. That's
Yeah,
misogynistic.
a couple things. Yeah, you're blaming women. But, are you allowed to say that? Because remember when people pointed out that Star Wars was predominantly a male audience, and then you screamed about how that wasn't true and that we're keeping women out, misogyny? Or are you keeping men out? Is it misandry? Because you're saying they're pandering to a female audience. This almost indicates that it's okay to understand who your core audience is and make things for them. But you didn't allow that for things like Star Wars. People like Anthony complained about it, but now they're that you didn't appeal to your audience. You double standard much.
They're talking about how they basically just wrecked the classic story because it looks creepy. They said not to mention the current millennial Gen Y and Gen Z didn't grow up with the older tunes like they did with the late 80s, early 90s Disney animated musical renaissance. I think there's some truth to that. We talked about that. I think we were
We've mentioned that. Our kids mentioned that too. And they said they probably didn't watch any of these in theaters and stuff, and they probably didn't if it was the older stuff.
They were in like people don't remember in the 80s especially. They would bring classic movies back, classic Disney movies back, because I saw Snow White in the theater, I saw Bambi in the theater, I saw 101 Dalmatians, so many, like in between the new releases, they would bring older movies back to the theaters.
Yeah.
Song of the South. You see that one in the theater? I remember it coming back.
Yes, I did.
It came back. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not looking good, guys. So they said at this point in time, no one's expecting Snow White to even hit 50. If it does do to matinees, great. The one happy ending it has, per many, is it's the only thing out there as far as tentpoles go for girls.
Okay.
What?
The only reason this movie's making any money is because there's no competition. Had there been competition, they would have been extra fucked.
It said like Mufasa, it opened below expectations. I didn't know Mufasa opened that low, 35 million.
It didn't do great. I don't know if it was that low, but yeah.
Snow White could leg out. However, general audiences with a 43% definite recommend want no business with evil queens. Damsel in distress with puffy satin shoulders and 7 minors. Wait. We're talking, M-I-N-E-R-S, not M-I-N-O-R-S.
So they're just going about it female skewing.
7 minors.
Yeah.
She's a teacher.
There you go. They're talking about.
They always are. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It's always a woman.
Well, they say we're wearing scream masks. Anyway, they said it was very female skewing at 68%. 14% of the audience was between 13 and 17. 24 was between 18 and 24 years old. 23 was between 25 and 34. And 38 was 35 plus, which makes most sense because we said that would probably happen because it's a lot of older people who grew up watching Snow White. And they're going on about women and kids and how younger audiences and female skewing, but it was mostly adult women who went to see the movie.
This is interesting, though. They're talking about the highest grossing multiplex, and it's actually the AMC in Disney Springs.
Well, yeah.
Of course it is.
That's probably true, yeah.
Because you're at Disney, you're going to go see the Snow White movie, and they're probably promoting the hell out of it there.
And then people keep having actors show up at the multiplex. You're probably going down there to hope you get one of the actors to show up. So anyway, yeah, it's not looking good. They're saying it might hit 100 million with overseas markets, but I don't think it's doing great over there either.
No, it's not. It's opening really low over there. So, it's gonna get pummeled. I was gonna say watch it, not even hit 45.
I don't know. They're saying it might hit 48. I don't know. All I know is I think it's like 16 million day one. So it's not even at 20 million with Thursday and Friday. So who knows? But said it's going to get pummeled. This is why Disney is like spending a crap ton of money promoting this over and over and over again. I'm sure if you've been on social media, you're seeing ads. If you're on, you're probably getting emailed ads. You're probably getting ads on this video. They're really spending money. So they already have a budget that's already ballooned out of control. So what's another $200 million they're going to throw at advertising? But this one was funny to me. It's the best live action movie, according to Entertainment Weekly. And Disney ran with it. See, by critics, it's one critic, okay? They ran with that, right? I went out and found the headline. Here's the headline from the critic. Snow White reviewed Disney's best live action remake as the fairest of them all. Thanks, Rachel Zegler. Yeah, and it's written by Patrick Gomez, who's the editor-in-chief at Entertainment Weekly. So I'm like, okay, this adds up. He puts out this article, and Disney runs with it. The critics are saying it's one critic. And you're like, well, okay, he's at Entertainment Weekly. What's that to do with Disney? Well, he was at People Magazine, okay, not Disney. He worked at other outlets, not Disney. However, he often appears, and this is his own bio, and can be seen frequently on Good Morning America.
Oh, golly gee.
Disney's, that is their mouthpiece for the company, GMA. Everybody knows it's not even really about news. It's about mouthpiecing and Disney and promoting everything. He's frequently one of their contributors on GMA. So yeah, of course he wrote a review that said it was the best live action thing, which is even more funny because on his own personal, I think it was Twitter, he had wrote, if it's not the most, it's one of a few days prior. And then it goes from that to it's the best. And then Disney promotes his article with their advertising.
It's the best.
I'm just saying. It's just follow it. You follow it, you always can find it.
Oh, God, I don't know what's up with the diverse Cinderella. We got you on here. But
Well, here's the thing, it's like, how dare he?
how very dare he? Yeah, they're gonna get pummeled. This is coming from Outkick. They said that it's 13% lower than Dumbo if you adjust it for inflation.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that, but you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's another massive failure. I mean, Beauty and the Beast opened to 229 million. Everybody forgets about that one too. I forgot it existed. We went to the theater to go see Beauty and the Beast, and it was like a huge hit at the time, and like everybody forgets about it.
Well, no, it's funny. I don't forget about it. And what I remember the most about it was the stupid ending when they were doing the credits, and they'd have the person that was the actor like turn around and act like, I didn't see you there, and they're holding the object that they were supposed to be.
Oh right.
So like,
why, hello there. I was polishing my candlestick.
Yeah, so they have them turn around.
Me.
I know. They have them turn around. You caught them at something. Like, well, I didn't see you there. And they're holding an object. It was so funny that my kids thought it was the stupidest thing they've ever seen. So they'd go home, and it was for weeks. They would randomly pick up an object and turn around in slow motion and be like, ooh. It was the
they did that thing. Crap with the Lord of the Rings Amazon show, too.
Did they? Yeah, my kids found that so funny.
I remember it from Dune, actually, the original Dune. They kind of did that too, where they would show the actors, like, because you can't remember the names of the characters. We're going to show you their face and then put their name on screen with the character's name because, there's so many.
Well, they were holding, like they'd hold it or something. And it was like, I can't explain it. If you haven't seen it, go look at the end credits. And our kids mocked that thing for weeks.
Hot tea, governor.
They would
Mrs. Potts is ready for you.
They turn around, like they'd just be randomly holding like a drink of like some bottle of soda, and they turn around like with it the same way, or toilet paper or whatever. And it was like a running joke in our house for weeks because they thought it was so stupid.
Wow,
anyway.
What if there was a bidet in the mansion? Like, we don't know all the.
That's the person that's missing teeth, and when they talk, they spit.
The things I've seen.
So they said that if Disney executives were smart, they'd learn some very valuable lessons from the latest disaster.
But they're not.
Stop trying to make every remake for modern audiences, because that modern audience is a progressive woke archetype that represents a vanishingly small percentage of the American public. And every day that group gets smaller and smaller, because the ones that are extremists are driving everyone further to the right because they're tired of their bullcrap. Stop hiring actors and actresses that hate the material they're working on because of their obsession with left-wing politics. Stop spitting on what made you the dominant family entertainment company.
Yeah.
And they voted, and instead the board recommended they vote not to get out of the social index and all that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, good luck with that. I mean, I think what's going to happen is they're going to try to have their cake and eat it too. They're going to try to be part of these, socially aware programs. On one hand, to keep one group happy, mostly their employees happy. And then the other hand, they're going to be like, yeah, we're just going to cut all the gay stuff out of the movies so, families don't boycott. China doesn't boycott. So there we go, guys. This is another freaking disaster. We knew it was going to be, but everybody's like, no, it's going to be great. And the chuds are angry. All the chuds are so mad. Now, the next thing is going to be how the internet ruined poor Snow White.
Right. And it's a bunch of bigots and racists. It's never their fault.
It's never their fault. It's like, no, it's just, and Disney, look, they're not, okay, they're stupid, but they know. They've known for months this was going to be a huge misfire, and they're just trying to flush it out of the system, put the best face on they can, and just deal with it. I mean, Disney's gone through periods before where they had shitty movie after shitty movie, box office bomb after box office bomb, 70s, prime example, early 80s. But they learned from their mistakes, and, they had a guy like Michael Eisner come in and fix it for them, but they got to get rid of Iger. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.